So Caitlin Clark, we called her Taylor Swift in tennis shoes. The nation fell in love with her. She passed, said no thank you to the NBA, offering her a chance to participate in their three-point shooting contest.
Caitlin Clark turning down the NBA three-point contest. Caitlin Clark is the biggest star in basketball right now. And if someone had told you just a few years ago that the NBA would be reaching out to a WNBA player to save their All-Star weekend, specifically the three-point shooting contest, you'd have probably laughed. The NBA, known for being all about the big names, was in a situation where they needed to spice things up and make the event more serious and exciting. And to their credit, they figured it out. But here's where it gets interesting. The WNBA is making a huge statement, and it proves a point I've been hammering for years. College basketball is an incredible ally to both men's and women's professional basketball. It introduces us to stars. Caitlin Clark wasn't even on my radar 4 years ago, but in the last couple of years, she's become a household name, and the rivalry between her and Angel Reese turned into one of the most exciting stories in both college and professional basketball. That college rivalry, it's now a key storyline in the WNBA, which speaks volumes. Women now stay in college for 4 years, just like in college football. That's why college football is thriving. The NFL is thriving, and both the WNBA and women's basketball ratings are skyrocketing. The NBA, on the other hand, it's international, and while the talent is undeniable, there's less connection with the average fan. If you looked at this year's WNBA draft, I could name almost all the players, but the NBA draft was like a who's who of who's that, except for a few standouts. Think about it. We used to love March Madness, and now we love it even more because the NFL is allowing college athletes to stay in school longer. That's not only good for college basketball, but it's also great for the NBA. Our attention spans are short, and we'll quickly lose interest if you don't give us those great storylines. Hollywood figured this out a decade ago by moving away from artsy indie films and focusing on big blockbuster superhero movies. Why? Because we already knew the characters. It's the same concept with college sports and the NBA. Take the NFL, for example. You know the names. Jalen Daniels, Caleb Williams, Nick Saban. These guys have been in the spotlight for years, and it translates to their professional careers. The NBA, they're looking at the WNBA, and suddenly they realize, hey, this college star is a bigger draw than some of our domestic stars right now. And that's all thanks to the rise of women's college basketball. Adam Silver on the TV show recently, and he talked about this. The NBA doesn't have the same connection with fans as they did back in the day. It's more global now, which is great in some ways, but doesn't create the same kind of bond we see with college basketball. Look at all the legendary college programs: Duke, Carolina, UConn, Arizona, Gonzaga. And in the middle of that list, there's Caitlin Clark, who went from being an unknown to becoming a sensation. So when Caitlin Clark turned down the NBA's offer to participate in the three-point contest, I totally get it. She's making the smart move. She said, I'll do it when the All-Star game is in Indiana, my home, my city, my team. That's powerful. And it just goes to show, Caitlin Clark isn't just a star. She's not just a basketball icon. She's a force in the sport, and she's letting the NBA know, you can't just borrow her spotlight. You gotta earn it.
Caitlin, for the record, I think made the smart move and said, nah, I'm not going to help you out. I'll do this. I'll do the three-point shooting contest when the All-Star game is in Indiana. My city, my team, my place.
Chiny Agumike on Caitlin Clark turning down the NBA three-point contest. A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. Caitlin Clark is the needle. She dictates. My goodness. She and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all WNBA broadcast value.
Caitlin Clark and her decision, I not only respect it, but I wholeheartedly support it. You know, a lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness, she and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all the broadcast value of the WNBA last season. She accounted also for helping drive the numbers of merchandising up 500%. Of course, her jersey was #1. And most importantly, I think people look at this and think she said no. That's not the case. She said she wants her first competition to be an Indy at WNBA All-Star, which to me is huge. People don't see the numbers below, like the economic impact. 36 million she drove to Indianapolis just by showing up as a rookie and making history. And so I understand her point of view. She wants to probably let other athletes shine.
Caitlin Clark on deciding not to participate in the three-point contest before Olympics.
You want to participate in the three-point contest?
Yeah, honestly, I think just rest. I've been playing basketball for a year straight. It's not an easy thing to just show up to and shoot off of a rack. It's not something I've ever done before. It's not something I've had a lot of time to practice. I've been focusing on helping my team win games. So I think just, enjoying this break. I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities for me to do that at some point. But at the same time, the field of shooters that we have in the competition are really good. They're all near 40% shooters. So I'm excited for them. I'll be there supporting them, and it'll be fun. But yeah, I think the biggest thing of us for me is just I need a break, and I need to take some time to myself to enjoy what I want to do. And at times that can be tough, being in the position that I'm in, but I think it's to be healthiest for myself.
Caitlin, how is this commentary and opinions? How important is it to maintain a great mental health routine?
That's the most important thing. I think it's hard as a professional athlete at times. People don't always realize. I feel like an individual just like all of you. I'm just the same human. I go about my same daily life. I do all the same things that you do. I just play basketball on top of that. So, mental health is super important, and taking care of that comes far before playing a basketball game. And I think having the resources and talking to somebody, whether it's a psychologist, sports psychologist, whoever it is, that's something that's really healthy and something that I do, something that I've done throughout my college career, especially when, everybody's looking at you to perform and everybody's looking at you to do this and do that. You have to be at your best every single day, and that's just one side of it. So, it's definitely okay to not be okay. I think that's super.
What Klay Thompson said on the rumored three-point contest at All-Star Weekend that was originally rumored to be him and Stephen Curry against Caitlin Clark and Sabrina Ionescu.
You to take part in some kind of three-point activity during the All-Star Week? Are you going to try to do that?
That'd be fun. I don't know the details, but if the opportunity presents itself, that would be cool to be a part of.
Thank you.
Forever 22, Ray Gun rebrands store in Iowa City ahead of Caitlin Clark jersey retirement ceremony.
New tonight, Des Moines-based retailer Ray Gun announced it's getting a temporary rebranding. Caitlin Clark's 22 jersey is being retired this weekend by the University of Iowa. And to celebrate, Ray Gun has hung Forever 22 signs over their storefront in Iowa City, as you can see in these pictures. Clark is being honored after the USC-Iowa game on Sunday. Tip-off is 12:30. We'll have more coming up in news and weather.
22 has been good to the Hawks. We find video where two former Hawkeyes, who also wore the number 22 for Iowa, they believe the jersey retirement for Caitlin Clark is well-deserved.
We all knew it was going up there, right? It was inevitable, and it's more than deserving. She took the program to places that it has not been before. The things that she did on the court, remarkable, and just the way that she carried herself as a Hawk. And I'm so happy for her, and it's been so fun to watch her in the W and just to continue on.
22 has been good to the Hawks, it's been a good number. It's been a good legacy passed on. Obviously, it's going to be not worn again, rightfully so.
If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you.